Welcome back to another episode of Test Don't Guess Tuesday. I'm your hostess and gut health specialist, Melissa Hall-Klepacki, and today I want to bring you a brand new test. It's a food inflammation test, and what it's looking for is food sensitivities. When we have a leaky gut, right? I don't know if you've heard this whole theory, but when you have a leaky gut, the cells of the intestinal lining, which should have some movement to allow little parts of nutrients to slide through and get into the bloodstream and nourish the body. But as we wear away at the gut lining, toxic chemicals, foods that we're sensitive to, right, lots of causes of leaky gut, we increase the space between the cells, causing leaky gut. Now we've not got tiny spaces, we have big spaces. Food particles get through into the bloodstream and cause immune system dysfunction and inflammation. So we want to take a look when we see gut dysfunction at what people are eating and what people are sensitive to. And a lot of times it's very interesting because people will come and they'll have very clean diets. They've identified 5 or 6 foods that they stick to perhaps, or they'll just tell you that they eat a very clean diet. Yet when the test comes back, we find that the very things that they're eating are the things that they're sensitive to that are causing this continual disruption in the microbiome. So without further ado, I want to show you what this test looks like and talk a little bit about what we do when we get the results back. Okay, so when you take this test, you will get 2 pages back. The first page will have all of your data at the very top, and it'll show you a bar graph you can see here. The same information is contained in the second graph below. It just makes it a tiny bit easier to understand. But I love this test because it is so clear. You'll notice that a red reaction is a severe reaction, right? Which we always think about red for being for emergencies. So anything that highlights in red is going to be a severe reaction, and emergency, something we need to take care of immediately. A high reaction in orange, a moderate reaction in yellow, a mild reaction in light green, and a negative reaction in green. So you'll see just by glancing at this test that there were three foods that were out of whack for this client. They were sensitive to egg yolk, right? Just a mild reaction. They were very sensitive to coffee, and they were moderately sensitive to beef. So in this case, what we do is we cut out these foods for 90 days. The reason we love this test, this FIT22 test, is because it makes things very clear for us. You don't have to cut out a million things. We don't have to say, cut out the most known allergens, wheat, dairy, and gluten. If we had done that for this client, it wouldn't have made a dent because they didn't have any issues with wheat or gluten or dairy. So for this client, coffee and beef, 90 days, they need to cut it out of their diets. And the second thing we do is we take a look at the gut barrier health. That's on page 2 of the report. And what we're hoping for is that all of these buttons light up green. It's testing 2 sides of the immune system. It's testing IgG subclass 1 through 4 and complement protein on one side, and then it's also testing IgA subclass 1 and 2. Sometimes you get different results, sometimes they're the same. It's just another layer of detail and specificity, really looking to make sure we cover all bases with this test. So this client would be negative for Candida, zonulin positive in the first study here, and significantly positive, not just a little bit. I love that it gives us, right, that variation. We can see just how positive a result is. Negative for occludin and positive for LPS, but here you can see very positive for LPS. Reminder, LPS is lipopolysaccharides. They're a major structural component of the outer membrane of gram-negative bacteria. when we see a lot of gram-negative bacteria, we start to look for autoimmune diseases. We are starting to correlate in the gut world certain bacteria with certain outcomes, which is fascinating and so amazing that we are able to do that. But when we see a test like this with positive LPS, number one, it could warrant further testing, but number two, definitely warrants some sort of protocol. My choice would always be herbal, some herbal antibacterial probably blend really is what helps to knock down the LPS. So a combination of cutting out the foods that are irritating and causing inflammation and healing the gut. Here, right, we know zonulin's a marker for leaky gut, so we would do some gut repair and we'd try to knock down the LPS for this client. That would be the way to approach it. And what I love is it's a 1-2 punch. It's the bang for your buck for this test is really outstanding. Not only do you have actionable information that you can act on immediately upon receiving them, but you've got a little bit of work to do generally. Most people have something off down here if you've got some food sensitivities and some gut issues raging. So this test is now available at gutcheckdirect.com. I'm so excited. There's also an educational portal in there. There's videos like this on how to read your test results, what to do with your test results, and lots of fun bonus items. So thanks for sticking around for Test Don't Guess Tuesday. I am Melissa Hall-Klepacki. Again, you can order this test for yourself at gutcheckdirect.com.